beware if you're a manager at one of the elite clubs in Europe, because go 4 games without a win or without scoring, and Zinedine Zidane's after your job. Bayern Munich, the latest to be linked. What do you think?
Well, he has said, well, his team have said, Zidane, that he's not after anybody's job, but he wants a job. Read into that what you will. He's not out there, I'm sure he's not out there touting himself like some have and done, and it goes on, and we know that, and it's quite unscrupulous at times, but I don't think he's playing that game, but I think he's playing a waiting game. Bayern Munich under Kovac are struggling at the moment, although our colleague Ralph Honigstein was saying on the FC show last night he expects that to turn around. We know Mourinho is under the cosh at United. That doesn't look like it's going to end well for him. The big question is, has Zidane, if we take Bayern Munich, Ross, and Man United, right? Does Zidane have what is the easier of the 2 jobs? None of them are easy jobs. Bayern Munich is the easier of the 2 jobs. It'd be easier to get Bayern Munich up and running and back to the top of the Bundesliga than it would get Man United up and running and back to the top of the Premier League. I don't think that's up for debate, although some people out there will try and debate that because that's what people are like. So it depends whether, if he was offered any of these 2 jobs, and I don't know if he is, what one he has the appetite for. Because if he wants a United job, if and when it comes available, he's going to have to really hunker down for a tough one. Because he's got City to overturn, he's potentially got Liverpool who are flying, and he's got Chelsea under Sarri who look quite strong. That's a huge job. It's a massive, massive job. Bayern Munich is a big job, of course it is, but I think it's easier to get them back to the top of the Bundesliga and get them rolling than it is Man United. So I don't know if there's others out there. I don't know if we go back to Real Madrid if Lopetegui got the sack. I mean, stranger things have happened. I think it's unlikely. But it would depend, and that's the thing with these managers, they cherry pick. You know, they cherry pick what they think is going to be the best for them, not necessarily what's going to be the biggest and toughest job.
The problem that he's got is obviously he's made a rod for his own back, isn't he? With that incredible 2.5 years, you take 3 Champions Leagues with you, you turn around a dressing room that effectively could only be healed by someone with his personality, with his stature. You've got to get inside his head a little bit to understand, what is he after? Is he after a massive job? Is he after something that's going to be a bit of a walk in the park? Is he after a directorship at Juventus, perhaps?
I mean, it comes down to the desire, and you know, some people get sort of mad when I bring this up and say, well, he's proven himself to a certain extent at Real Madrid. Of course he has, because he's won those Champions Leagues, which is great success. But really and truly, there are still, in my opinion, some questions out there about rebuilding football clubs. And I go back to 2 of the greatest managers that came to the British shores, Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson. They rebuilt, whatever you think about Wenger in the end, he rebuilt that football club at Arsenal. Ferguson rebuilt over and over this football club at Man United. Real Madrid didn't need that. They needed egos massaging. They needed a bit of tactics. They needed an arm round them. They needed a bit of respect. He brought all that. That's fine. That's fine. But these clubs, and certainly Man United, don't have these players that need egos managed. They need good players, and they haven't got enough of them. So there is a question mark still whether he can go into. I mean, he could go into somewhere like Juventus and, you know, do something similar, because they're already top of the Scudetto and they're going to be top for, you know, looks like another year. But going into a club like Man United, who, let's be honest, need a bit of a rebuild because they're not going to win much, that's a real tough ask of a manager who's never done that before. He managed Benzema, he managed Bale to a certain extent, he managed Ronaldo and Kroos and Modric and Ramos and all these, and they're great players. Different job going to a club like United or possibly Bayern Munich. So that's why I think there's still some doubts whether he'll be interested in taking a club that's a long way away from winning a league, which is what Man United are at the moment.
Yes, fascinating stuff. So for the meantime, motivation and incentive for Zidane, as he remains on the sideline, remain unclear. It will be fascinating to watch where he goes next.